best desktop processor ever built
work
in
together
history.
in a hybrid
And it takes
architecture to
advantage of
deliver
our
the best
hybrid
multi-thread
architecture, both
performance.
E and P
It has
cores.
blazing
You know,
clock
we've
speeds
enhanced the
of
P
up to
cores.
5.8 gigahertz, and the i3 13900K is the best gaming, streaming, and recording experience ever.
Hey, sorry guys, it just started early.
It's the best CPU, but it's also the best platform.
Can you hear it?
Core processors deliver on the platform value proposition, state-of-the-art wireless, connectivity, advances in memory technology. As always, we are building and leading open platforms with and for the industry. And whether you're a beginner or an expert, the Intel 13th Gen Core delivers the world's best overclocking experience as well. And early next year, we'll release a SKU that for the first time ever hits 6 gigahertz out of the box in limited volumes. An industry first, a huge milestone for client computing. And I remember, like it was yesterday, when we first crossed 1 gigahertz. Man, you all are blowing me away. 6 gigahertz, what a milestone.
6 gigahertz out of the box.
To our team. But of course, we're not stopping with the K SKU. We're going to give you the full range of PC segments, including mobile. And we expect over 50 processors as part of the Raptor Lake i9 family, or the 13th Gen family. And we have over 500 13th Gen designs.
I'm back, and I think we should definitely get Hawk at that version.
Yes, I think so. Our game is definitely going to take advantage of this. And given the sheer power and unique hybrid architecture that comes with the 13th Gen processors, I think we can say with confidence the gaming challenge is complete, Rhea.
All right. Thank you.
So let's move into our fourth challenge, and this one's for content creators that need a creative boost.
All right, let's do it.
So I think we need to commemorate our time together today, Rhea. And with that,
Nice shark bite. I told you to wait.
Okay.
Right, Pat and Rhea's greatest hits kind of poster. And have you ever seen any of the text-to-image creative platforms?
Well, I've definitely seen it. I could even say you're asking the master. I have tried so many different Stable Diffusion models. It's constantly growing, but definitely something that only advanced deep learning enthusiasts can get their hands on. Very hard for content creators to be able to use that technology right away.
Okay, well, AI is unleashing this wide array of new opportunities for the creative process. And John is back on stage to show us some amazing technologies from Habana Labs using Gaudi 2. And maybe we can help create our movie poster.
Okay, so I'm going to pause it there because all of the information is now public. So let me just show you guys what we actually do know, because they did. I don't know how this worked, but if we look at Intel Raptor Lake, so it did get announced, and they've already done this stuff already. So if you look here, here's where it actually came in there, and here's all the information, digital trends, and some of these other guys. So I wanted to basically spend some time. This stream is, we got to see the official announce at Innovate, but there was apparently an earlier thing that already happened. So this is what's basically happening. So what they said is there are, the SKUs that were announced is a 24, it's an 8 E-core, 16 P-core, 32. It's 3 gigahertz with 2.2 gigahertz thing. It's up to 5.8 gigahertz. Apparently the big thing that they're pushing with this generation is overclocking. They do have graphs on performance and stuff like that here in a minute. 32 megs of L cache, 36 megs of L3 cache. We have 253 watts of boost power, and the price. This is the. Sorry guys, I don't know what to do about this stuff. I'm just gonna try and barely pull this out. I don't know what the heck this. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna say stop seeing this ad. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. This is just gross. Okay, so, and I'm gonna close this too. There we go. That's more tech related. The other thing too that's crazy about it though is look at the price. That's a big one right there. $589 is the price versus $699 for the 7950X. So we have basically double the E-cores on each of the Intel's newly announced processors as well, which is the other thing that's pretty crazy. And so I'm hoping that at some point in time, I am watching their innovation thing, but I'm going to go back and forth as it makes sense. But how they announced it is really, 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 really weird. And so, you know, so here we can pull down here. They have some charts. Here it is. Oh, gosh darn it! What is this crap? Stop seeing this ad. I don't even know why it's showing me this stuff. Okay, here we go. So here's the interesting thing. So this is like basically the overall stuff. It says, if you look at this right here, it's looking at 45%, F122, Far Cry, and these are all over the Ryzen 7 5800X 3D is where it's showing the performance boost, right? So again, what we can do is we can do some inferencing, and again, everything here is essentially we can take with a grain of salt until we have them in hand. But they're saying that the Core i9-13 provides up to a 58% boost in gaming performance in some of the games, and they show what it is. And again, this is a lot like what we just went through with Ryzen 7000. Is we always have to take what developers say and take it with a grain of salt, and then from there be like, hey, this is just what they're saying, and until we can actually test it ourselves, we will. Now, don't worry. This one is going to be an interesting one because for sure, unlike the AMD stuff, I will be there at day launch, right, for the content here. So you don't have to necessarily worry about that one. It's, you know, again, it's showing leap in performance, content creation, and it's going in a battle between Raptor Lake and 7000 series. That's what we kind of see right now. There's not a lot of other information that's kind of out. Intel does have this video that I'm going to go ahead and play because they did show this. So this came out as part of Intel's newsroom stuff. So, oops, sorry, I have too many things going on here, and I wasn't quite ready. They were supposed to. Here we go. Intel 13th gen, and they have this minute where it is. Oh wow! So everybody's already got the faster speeds and all that sort of stuff going. Here's what it was. This is the thing that just came out. Here we go.
Here are 3 things to know about 13th gen Intel Core desktop processor. First, better system performance. Built on Intel's performance hybrid architecture, 13th gen chips offer a 15% boost in single-threaded tasks, up to 41% on multi-threaded workloads. A lot of gaming, streaming, and content creation without a performance hit. Second, a premium gaming experience. This flagship gaming processor features up to 24 cores, 32 threads, and blazing clock speeds up to 5.8 gigahertz. It's the world's fastest desktop processor. Third, the world's best overclocking experience. Beginner and extreme overclockers can supercharge unlocked 13th gen processors to execute all their video editing, gaming, and other demanding workloads at faster speeds. So enthusiasts, gamers, creators, 13th gen Intel Core processors are your best bet.
So that's all we. Oh, okay. Oh, innovate. Oh, we got a demo right here of 13th gen. Hold on. What was that? How do I get that back? Hey, look, it's literally me. I came back as
speed. So enthusiasts, gamers, creators, 13th gen Intel Core processors.
I literally it recommended me next. That's pretty funny. Okay, so here's what we got so far. And I'm gonna try to see if Intel's released anything else. But I think outside of that, like it looks like PC World's doing some stuff, so people are going in there. Oh, here we go. This is from Intel Newsroom. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go.
Are you ready to take multitasking on your PC to the next level? Whether you're a developer, content creator, or streamer, Intel Thread Director technology paired with Windows 11 allows you to multitask effortlessly without interruptions. The days of getting up, walking away from your PC while you wait for a task to finish are over. I am proud to introduce our newest desktop processor, the 13th generation Core i9 13900K. We've pushed processor frequency to new heights, boosting up to 5.8 GHz. Reworked the cache architecture by increasing L2 and L3 cache, dubbed Intel Smart Cache, for better performance overall. And we've doubled the number of efficiency cores, or E-cores for short, which provides even more multi-threaded performance. This brings the processor to a total configuration of 24 cores, 32 threads. Now I'll show you what I mean when it comes to next level multitasking.
Yeah, he's pretty
with
robotic.
The system here, equipped with our Core i9 13900K. Here I have Unreal Engine opened up, a popular engine used by many game developers and animators. This is a sample project that I am working on. At this point, I am importing some new models for use in this project, and in some instances, this can take a while for it to render and cache. You can see in the Task Manager that all the cores are now firing at full speed to work on this task. But what if I want to continue working on other areas of this project, or even move on to something different? In the past, you would have to wait until the render is complete before your PC is usable again. But we are changing that game thanks to our hybrid architecture. Now I will simply minimize Unreal Engine, switch to focus on a different project. You can see in the Task Manager that the first 16 threads, our performance cores, are now ramping down, and only the E cores are at 100%. This is Intel's Thread Director in action. It's only assigning the E cores to Unreal Engine, which is rendering in the background. Now I am free to do other work in the foreground. Now I will switch to a Blender project, an animation that I am working on. At this stage, I want to render this out and see how this project is turning out. The system is able to intelligently assign the tasks to proper cores, which provides the ultimate flexibility. But what if you want to play test a build of your game, or take a break and relax with a game session while your render is still going? You can do just that. Here I will bring up a game called The Rift Breaker. As you can see, I am experiencing smooth gameplay, all while knowing that the projects are being worked on in the background. Of course, you are not limited to just rendering in the background. If you're a content creator encoding videos to upload to a popular streaming site, or a developer working on other compute-heavy projects, our new 13th generation desktop processors can help you multitask with ease. We can't wait for you to get your hands on a system equipped with our 13th gen processor to see the benefits for yourself and experience next-level multitasking.
Okay, so that's what we have officially. I don't know. I have no idea when the official announce happened. So I had all of this information that said it was going to happen at 9. I mean at 10, and then I logged in and it was already going, and press sites already had it. So all I have is basically what has come out from press sites who saw it somewhere else. So I'm not entirely sure where, when, or how the information kind of came out, because I don't know what it is. It is LGA 1700 Wogman. So I figured we just do some Q&A, and I can give you guys my thoughts. I feel like, you know, it's not the best stream. I know that the announced portion of it was actually pretty short, but it's going to be interesting in terms of where this is. So a couple of things that, you know, when we talk about each one of those. First and foremost, I still don't change my perspective on, I think people need to wait until the RDNA 3 announcement. I think people need to wait until the RDNA 3 announcement that happens on November 3rd, which we'll make sure we're at the right time for. A couple things about that. One, I still think that there could potentially be some stuff, given what AMD did around RDNA 2.0, that could be some benefits with uplift with having a AMD RDNA 3.0 and an AMD CPU. So I still feel like there's still some unknown. And the other thing too is that without their 3D cache versions of their CPUs announced, there is another kind of wrinkle in the whole thing. Now that could be next year, but what we do know right now about Raptor Lake is it's cheaper. It is cheaper. It's more their key thing, and the only reason I know this is just from the little bit that I have been briefed, is it's about overclocking. So apparently it will run cooler, but and you will have more room for head overclocking. But again, until we actually have the chip, we don't have any information on that, and that's why they've been pushing XTU and all that sort of stuff as part of this, and you'll see that a little bit as you guys start to catch up on the press stuff. Base clock is higher, briefly, shortly, above one. Basically, it's 5.8 versus 5.7 on the 7950X, and the cost is $599, and it's keeping the exact same pricing as last gen, and smaller box, but keeping the same pricing as last gen, and again, ending up being cheaper overall. It does work with Z690 and Z790. As far as I know, I haven't seen a lot of stuff yet about what Z790 has to offer, but hopefully, it might be better sockets or whatever it was. But you will be able to, if you have a 12th gen system, just socket this in and have it work and go. So I will be doing a build, a 13th gen build. My first 13th gen build is on the 29th. So I'll be doing a 13th gen build on Friday. I'll be doing 3 13th gen builds on the 2nd. So you guys, I will have a lot of practice with putting them in. I won't be able to see them in action until obviously embargo dates and stuff like that. And I don't know if they actually announced a launch date. Let me take a look. Do we have an Intel 13th gen launch date? I mean, I know what it is, but I don't know if it's been announced. So, oh yeah, it is. Okay, according to 2 sources, I don't actually know. These are all rumors, so I don't know if this is true. Right now, it's saying that the according to the rumor, it's saying sometime in October is basically what we know right now. So, okay, so yeah, saying sometime in October, but again. Yeah, so Blondie, when I looked at it yesterday, it actually said 10 a.m. So I think it started. It didn't like. I went to Intel's official site, and that's how I did all this stuff when I set it up last night. And then I logged in, and it said it's like everything had changed. It was supposed to be 8:30 to 10 was supposed to be the pre-show with their host, and then the whole thing kind of shifted. So it was really weird. Yeah, so Intel only said sometime next month. But there are, apparently, according to The Verge and CPU Rumor, they're saying a date of the 20th. But I don't know if that's true. So, okay. Anyway, that's what we know. That we don't have a lot of stuff. Let me see if I can find something that's like cleaner that doesn't have a bunch of gnarly ads. I don't know what the heck that stuff was. Okay. Intel announces 13th gen. I'm trying to see if anybody's done anything good. Okay, the Ars Technica. Okay, here we go. Let's find that one. So we'll bring up the Ars Technica one. Looks like this one's actually pretty good. Here it is right here. Okay. Oh, here, and it says our official launch on October 20th. So Ars Technica is saying October 20th. Trying to see if there's anything. Leading performance, here's where it goes. 50. So single-threaded performance, it looks like a 15% lift. Multi-threaded performance, an uplift of 41%. Here's the prices. So the i9 13900K is $589.99. So it's actually less than I even thought it was. 8 P cores, 16 E cores. A boost clock of up to 5.8 gigahertz on the P core and 4.3 gigahertz on the E core. With 68 megabytes of L2 and L3 cache, and it's got a base of 125 watts with a max power of 253 watts. So 125 versus 241. So it is actually more wattage than the 12900K. 13700 is 409. So it's actually cheaper than what the original price was on the 12700K. So that's actually pretty cool. 8P cores, 8E cores, 54 megs, 3.4 and a 5.4 gigahertz boost clock. And then the i5 13600, which is everybody's favorite. This is the darling right here. Still more wattage, 44 megs up from 29.5. Twice as many E cores. So everybody gets twice as many E cores, same amount of P cores. And you've got a 2 up from 4.9 to 5.1 in terms of the boost. This one right here, the 12600K, is the part that actually gets me the most excited, because I really, really like this. Now, since the manufacturer is at best only improving modestly, the price you'll pay for the extra clock speed and core counts is higher power usage. Intel is keeping the base power unchanged at 125 watts, but the maximum turbo power numbers have gone up quite a bit. So we saw that. Scalable performance per watt. Okay, so that doesn't mean Intel's throwing power efficiency entirely out the window either. With restricted to 65 watt base power, Intel says that the improvements to Raptor Lake will allow the chips to run multi-threaded workloads just as quickly as the i9, running at 241 watts, and has become the norm of these days. So multi-threaded performance at 253 watts. It's showing so it's similar performance at negative 25% power. So it's basically, in other words, it's saying at 65 watts it can run the same multi-threaded performance as the 241 12900K. That's okay. If that's true, great. I don't know why I'm opening this mail. That was not what I wanted to do. So as for the company Z790 chipset, it has a few improvements over the previous generation, but it's likely nothing worth upgrading to. If you've already got a 600 motherboard, the chipset now supports a total of 20. Oh, so it's 20 PCI 4 lanes, plus 8 PCI 8 lanes. Has 12 and 16. Oh, so it was 20 4 lanes, so versus 12. So that's actually quite a bit more for your NVMe drives, which that was an issue. So that if you're going to throw a crap ton of storage, then it makes a lot of sense for Z790. It's got an additional 20 gigabit per second USB 3.2 Gen 2 by 2 port, and then it removed support for basic USB 2.0 ports entirely. And then the platform has PCI 5. Who cares? That's just all fakery right now. And that's kind of it. I think that's it. Yep. Okay, so that feels like the most, just off the thing, kind of off the, most realistic in terms of the overall announce and stuff like that, as it makes sense. So how does it fare up against the 7950? So it's faster. It's more power hungry. So we don't know if that means warmer, but we're going to have to assume so. Rumor is, and what they've pushed on is that it's got more overclocking headroom, and it's less expensive. But Kyatastic, so here's the deal. Unlike the 7950X right now, though, we haven't tested it. So the thing that we're at, and we have to be really clear about this, and I know people sometimes think I'm an Intel shill, but I'm not. What we have right now is what Intel says it does. What we have with Ryzen is what it actually does. So until October 20th, everything that I'm kind of telling you is just what Intel is telling us as the press, but we can't say for sure until we have it in our hands and we actually do it. Like, for instance, I can't tell you how many people, including myself, called AMD the moment we threw a 7950X into our test benches and found out that it ran at 94.5. And the other thing too is that it fundamentally changed the way that we have to think about cooling, because if you do, we are testing and we have shown that if you use a less powerful cooler, you actually get less performance. And you guys are going to hear me talk about that in the video and in the gaming, the pre-built plus gaming, because we did our first, we did the full review. That machine that I was using yesterday, that Falcon Northwest, is a 7950X with a 3090 Ti, and between the open case and closed case, we actually saw a performance drop because of cooling affects performance way more on Ryzen than it necessarily did in any other case, right? And that's mainly because that thing is made to run at TJ Max, and that's what it's supposed to do. And that's why you see it be so much hotter on AMD than we have typically done. And the other thing, too, that nobody else is talking about is that's also true on the idle temps. The idle temp of a 7950X is 41 degrees. You know, and if you don't know, that's over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and it is something you have to worry about if you live in hotter climates or even in air conditioning, because it physically changes the overall temperature of your room when that thing is just sitting there and chilling. So it's pretty crazy. So it's really exciting, but what we have is one realistic and what is essentially three theoreticals at this point in time. In the announce, we have Raptor Lake theoretical, we have NVIDIA 4000 series theoretical, and then what we have is essentially not even any idea what RDNA 3.0 is. So that's not even theoretical, that's just fantasy. So how about this? We have one realistic, two theoretical, and one fantasy. And then once we kind of on November 3rd, at least at that point in time, we'll have enough information to really make a really good recommendation in terms of what people need to do for holiday. And the good thing is it'll be before Black Friday, so you guys should have a good idea if you're looking for a PC for the holiday or for a Christmas present to really make an informed purchase decision. But I would really suggest, before buying anything, waiting until you have at least everything in realistic and one in theoretical before you do any purchasing decisions. Because I don't want to see what people are saying right now, which is when somebody's saying, well, I just pre-ordered a 7950X, and then they're disappointed because, you know, Intel came out and said, well, now we're faster and cheaper. And in so many ways, the one thing I can say is that looking at value, just looking at pure performance value, the i5 13600K should outperform the 5600X, does support DDR4, and you can use Z690, you could use a Z690 board, and that would be far less expensive than going to AM5. But if you went to AM5, AMD is saying, and they're promising that they are going to support that through 2025, which means you could potentially upgrade without a new motherboard for much longer. So I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying that there is some correlation between... Look, I'm just saying there's definitely... Whether you think that CPU temp is the same as wattage, the point is there's a heavy correlation between the two, is my point. That's unless you're talking to somebody else. Yes, and Spooky Tofu is absolutely right. That is something that apparently, just based on conversations that are going, DeBauer got a crazy, like much more insane, some really insane info out of the 7000 series when he delitted it. And I'm pretty sure you're going to see delitting being a big thing on Ryzen 7000, which is cool. Yeah. Can I take advantage of the full 13900? Yes, you can. So, big question you're asking, can I take full advantage of a 13900K? Absolutely you can. The only thing you're going to lose is it looks like you're going to lose PCIe lanes in terms of support from a storage. But in terms of power and performance, there will be no drawback in that regards in terms of for gaming. But if you care about wanting to have like a ton of NVMe SSDs, that's where going to Z790 might be a better option. If I take Intel at their word, then the 7950X and you mean the 13900K Voodoo Q? You're very welcome. Yeah, PC guy. I mean, like, I'm not gonna delid. So we just ordered our second set. We have an entire one set. We have one full set of 7000 series, and we just ordered our second set. And I'm definitely not going to be deleting any CPUs until people have kind of gotten it under control, and then we'll probably at that point in time do a how-to video on it. 13900K, yes, that should be fine. 13900K on an 850 watt should be absolutely fine, Adjudicator. You still have a lot of headroom there. What I care about, here is the single biggest thing. And I wish they would have talked about this, and they didn't really, at least that I can see, is performance numbers. I mean, sorry, thermals, because I have seen in some of the things that talk about the XTU and the overclocking. So if that's coming up, then they have to have thermal headroom to overclock. But so far, nothing I've seen has talked about thermals. So that's the part that I'm trying to understand is what are the expected thermals for this thing? And I don't see anything about that right now. So I'm trying to see if maybe there's another video. There might be another if somebody's gonna repost what the actual announcement so we can watch it. Who has the better packaging? Okay, so I will say they do have. I can bring it up. Here's the 13th gen packaging. It's not. I don't think it's as nice. I don't think it's as nice as the other one, but it's still there. It is right there. So that's the 13th gen packaging. So that's a personal thing. I'm not going to make a call. Like that's what the 13th gen packaging looks like. So AM5 has advantages in 1700. Yeah, I think Siski. I think the part that where you're going to talk about and you're going to see like is it AM5 or does it make sense to do Intel? Where AM5 has a potential like hidden weapon could be in its pairing with RDNA 3.0, which wouldn't mean anything to people who are Team Green. But if people are Team Red and you end up using both of those GPUs, then both that GPU and CPU, similar to their AMD Advantage program on laptops, where the entire, like they can do things like use RDNA 3.0 paired with Infinity Cache to do stuff like improvements to smart access memory and stuff like that. That could be a lot more interesting. But on the Intel side, it looks like similar to what they're kind of doing with the Intel Arc. It's going to be about low cost and basically just higher power, and then apparently overclocking potential are going to be the key things for 13th gen. Yeah, it comes with a disc brake inside. Yeah, Spooky Tofu, you can use that on like your local Porsche or whatever it was. Like if you want to go throw that on your favorite performance automobile. Okay, so World of Warcraft Shadowlands. So they did show here. This is on MSN. So it looks like looking at some of the performance, it's saying on World of Warcraft Shadow Legends over the 5800X 3D. 6% boost in performance, 16% on Mountain Blade, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, which the 5800X 3D was actually pretty crazy. It looks like it is saying it doesn't even have. Oh, yeah, it's saying it's on par. So it was saying slightly better than the 5950. It looks like on Total War, it's on par with the 59. Dude, the 5800X 3D is just such a crazy. Let me see if I can. Here, let me bring this up for you guys because this is pretty bonkers. Core. Let's see. Do they have the Verge one? I mean the. Oh, this is it. Okay, I was on it. Never mind. This is the same. Look at this. I want to show you something about the 5800X 3D here. Do you see? So here's this bar graph here. Do you see this little line that keeps showing up? That's the 5800X 3D. I mean, like all in all, that 3D cache thing. Yeah, that 3D cache thing is like a genuinely crazy. I mean, it's just so funny because it's like instead of Intel making the bar really clear that that's like the best Ryzen, they just have like this line that says, hey, here's this extra bit of information. But again, so like these performance boosts that you're reading right here, and this is, I don't know, this is very Apple. I don't know, I feel bad for Apple because everybody says it's very Apple. But these performance boost things are so funny because it's like, it's not taking into account, this 16% is over the 5800X. It's not, this 27% is over the 5800X, but when you look at the 13900K versus the 5800X 3D, it's like a 3%, you know what I mean? So, I mean, some of these are still impressive, but again, you guys know as well as I do that essentially, like, games can be optimized for one platform over the other, so it's pretty funny. I bought the 12600K knowing the 1300 would be coming with the same chipset. I will more likely pop a 13. I think real deal. That's a great idea. I think for folks who are on 13th gen or people who are 10th and 11th gen and who've been looking to upgrade to Intel, because there are a lot. I mean, the P-Core, E-Core stuff is actually pretty dang cool. I still like the Thread Director stuff. There's a lot of stuff that's coming as this is maturing, just like you see AMD maturing in some of their tech and their ecosystem stuff. I'm seeing Intel also mature in terms of their P-Core, E-Core, Thread Director, and all that sort of stuff. So, like I said, in the end, gamers win. Like we win, and I do like that Intel has cut. Like, they are coming in to be priced competitively, because I think if it would have come out, at a price similar to the 7950, etc., right? Where, and I'm guessing, if I had to guess, and I'm guessing right here, if I had to guess, this decision was made like yesterday, because I feel like they went and looked at all the reviews and said, wow, people are really punching AMD on value, right? And that's where a lot of the that's where you see a lot of the tech press kind of hitting at them. So for them to come in at a lower cost, that feels like a baller move in that regards. That's not to say that it's not all going to wash out when we actually do the reviews, but hey, kudos in terms of I love that Nvidia said, hey, we're going to do our announce, and AMD said, hey, guess what? We're going to announce when we're doing our announce on the day you came out, and then AMD launches their CPUs, and Intel comes out and says, hey, we're going to tell you how good our CPUs are on the day that you're supposed to go buy the other ones. Like, this is all fun. Like, this is all good stuff. So, yeah. But, oh, sorry, the ads. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Mr. Schaefer, is that it should be, they right now, the closest thing, when you really look at that, the closest thing you could look at is the 5800X 3D, because that's pretty close to the next gen performance for the 7600 and the 7800, etc. Or 7700. You know what? Honestly, I have no idea. Unloved homie, I do know that it is still coming out. They're still committed to it. We just don't know when. Which, I mean, how long has that been the answer? So, but yeah, no, I mean, we just don't. I mean, at least now we have another part of the equation. We have another part of the equation, and now what I got to go do is I got to go take this and get a video ready so we have something out. Tonight for you guys. Would it be worth the upgrade going from an 11700K to a 7700X? Chris, so I don't know if I have a good answer to that, and Chris is asking that question. I don't know if I have a good answer to that until post November 4th. Because the thing is like, the question is would it be better to go from an 11700K to like a 13700K, or would it be better to go from an 11700K to a 7700X? Until we kind of have the last little piece of the puzzle in November, we don't really have a good answer. Yeah, I mean, you guys have seen me build them. I mean, Arc is obviously spending money. I've done integrations and done builds with them. I just don't know when it's coming out. I mean, okay, to be clear, Arc is out on laptops. There's a video coming out from us on Thursday about an Arc laptop and an MSI that we just got finished doing a paid overview for. So Arc is out on the mobile space. It's just not out on the desktop space. Siski, so is it Siski Techian? Do I think that Arc will be attractive to content creators? I think absolutely. I think Intel knows that it's got to be priced. It's got to be really inexpensive. And I think a lot of the tech that they're working on is to help content creators and streamers be able to stream in game. Do you like, it's funny, you asked that question, and I think I was more indifferent about it until I just recently did that 6950X video, and the more I've learned about what AMD is doing in their ecosystem around Radeon, I think the more impressed I've gotten. So I am very excited about November 3rd. No, I think you're right. Unloved Homie, it's not. Have you seen the reviews showing that DDR5 for 7000 seems to be underperforming on the Ada 64 bit? Okay, so let me be really clear about OG Gamers 68. Ada 64 is not a great way to test anything on the CPU side or the GPU side. In fact, it might be a video on it, but they haven't updated their CPU testing at all. They haven't updated their CPU tests for any of the next gen improvements since 5000 series. So that's why we stopped using Ada 64 on our reviews and have gone to Cinebench almost exclusively because of that. And so all of our testing and all of our stuff was all done via Cinebench because it's a much better, or a CPU-Z or whatever it was, much better test than Ada 64. They need to update their test tools. Yeah, I'm guessing, or Chaos, I think you're right. Like, all of them need to have the AV1 encoder, for sure, right? Because that's just got to be done. Are they pre-orderable already? Did they come to pre-order already? Oh, wow, that's very Intel. Oh my gosh. I did appreciate that. I did appreciate that about, there it is. There it is. Wow. You can buy two. You can buy two. There it is. Well, I'm glad. Thank you for pointing that out because I need to buy them. For builds. I mean, don't get me wrong. I just bought it's just funny that I bought both of them on the same day. Wait, it says $659.99. That's not the right price. They have the wrong price on Newegg. It's supposed to be $589. Okay, what the deuce? You can buy them you can pre-order it from Newegg, but why is the price off? The cost is supposed to be... Well, that sucks. I'm asking. Yeah, let's check let's see. I mean, do they have it? Can you get it anywhere else? Let me check. I'm guessing you probably can't get it on Best Buy. Nope, it's not on Best Buy. I bet you can, maybe on B&H? And it's not on, you can still get a 12900 KS. Okay, so it's not on, it is not on, it's not on, I'm looking to see where it shows up. Nope, it looks like the only place is, looks like the only place that I can see it right now for pre-order is, Newegg. Okay, well, I just wrote Newegg to find out what the heck that is. So, yeah. But yeah, I went ahead and pre-ordered it just to make sure that I had it. I'm pre-ordering all of them. I'm curious, like, and it doesn't look like, yeah, so you can basically pre-order every single one of them, and we've just done that. Okay. Okay, well, that's that. I'm trying to see that. Yeah, that's not cool. But if they say it'll be cheaper when it comes out there, I think they might have had a placeholder price. I'm waiting to hear back from them. Well, let's see all of them. Getting the new PC to build shakes. Don't worry, guys. Hold on. Just hold on. Mine are very different. I am pre-ordering for a very different reason. I'm pre-ordering specifically because I want to make sure that we have builds during launch, and I need that way I have 2 pair of every CPU. So that way, if because I'll have CPU stuck in builds, and I want to make sure I have another one. So if I need to do another build that same week, that's the only reason I'm buying what I'm buying right now. I do need to get Tom to put the pre-order links in the thing. Let me see. Tom, can you get me? Okay. Let me see. Anything else? It's 10:32. Anything else that you guys want to know? Did I do a good job? Is anything else? I'm trying to make sure that we got everything. Yeah, Starfield, right? Like we'll have it just in time for Starfield, right? I can never remember that the Bethesda game. That's the one I wanted to talk about. I see you, Intel. Yeah, there you go. Anything else that you guys can think of? Oh, Hogwarts Legacy 2, that's right, yeah. Both of those look like they're... Starfield, okay, did have the right name. Woohoo! And the Dead Space one. Any game streams you're going to do soon? We should do another one. I'm hoping to do another one this week. We do, so just to remind people what else is happening... Yeah, not Kerbal 2. What else is happening today? Tonight we'll be doing pre-built in gaming. We'll be testing that Falcon Northwest system. You guys, or more than anybody, you guys are going to want to come and check that out. It's impressive. It's really impressive, and the cooling is probably the most impressive part. And then the AMD launch build got moved because of this. So we're going to do the AMD launch. We're going to do our first 7000 series build on Friday, and then we have a Raptor Lake build on Thursday. 3 Raptor Lake builds on Sunday, and then we'll be back on Monday with a Seagate sponsored AMD 7000 series build on Monday. So you guys got 7000 series, you got 13th gen, all of that stuff on the same channel, multiple times over the next 7 days. So it's gonna be crazy. And then we just updated the schedule. Sorry, Blondie, there just was a lot going on, so I'm sorry about that. Just I was like, that was not what I was expecting, and I was trying to do too much this morning with making sure that we had this stream too. But super appreciate everybody being here today. Yeah, this fall is hardware heaven because we got, we're now just a little over 2 weeks from NVIDIA stuff. And we got, and then we got right after that, looks like we've got October 20th is Raptor Lake launch. And then we got November 3rd is our RDNA 3. And then hopefully, I'm guessing sometime in December will be Radeon 7000 series launch after that. Yes, we do. But the Kingston clicks were actually really good. Tom did the Kingston clicks on the Aorus board, their DDR5 6000. And it came out great. So I think it was probably the board, not necessarily the RAM. Okay, got it. So. Oh, yeah, this fall is definitely the way it is. Minesweeper in 8K. Yawning Salmon, I cannot wait. Anyway, guys, that was it. Really appreciate the short 45-minute stream. I hope that you guys found the insight useful. I will get a video out on this tonight, so you guys can just basically retake it all in. I'll see. I'm gonna compile a bunch of data and get a new script written. But I super appreciate you guys. Anyway, we will talk to you guys later. Have a great day, and we'll see you guys we'll see you guys tonight for pre-built in game.